targeting the core key away, something we have seen rise in priority with a bit more lean towards scaling. Kalista going to be taken away as well. And on the other side, RA banning Fiora and Wukong. So for anyone who hasn't seen some of the recent games, Lucian has dropped quite a bit in ban priority. People have worked out ways to deal with it. Zeri is something, though, that is very prominent. So I expect RA to finalize the draft phase with a Zeri ban. It would be quite risky if they were to leave that open.
We'll see what they want to go for. Lissandra actually going to be the ban here. So they're basically saying
Zeri?
the first pick, LeBlanc, could maybe be a thing, or a Zeri, like you mentioned. So locked and loaded. FPX saying LWX is very comfortable on something like this. The mobility, the scaling you get with it as well, and just the kiting ability to chase down opponents. So powerful.
Yeah, so far, Zeri has 71% win rate with a 95% presence. Obviously banned a lot of that, but clearly RA had a strategy prepared. So they're going for the Twitch, Yuumi, Tom and Jerry lane, where essentially you look to outscale the Zeri. You can kind of find her, get the jump on her with the Yuumi on top of you. And FPX is going to respond with scaling in kind. Lulu, obviously a support who does very well in late stage of the game. And then they go for the Gwen. So RA considering a Kayle to match into it. Scaling galore, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, scaling is the name of the game right now for the side of RA. And for FPX, the Kayle into the Gwen, we saw in our clips at the start of the show that, you know, Xiaolahu very comfortable in how that matchup goes and very, you know, assured of exactly when and where his power spikes can be.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about scale, you know, if a team has a super aggressive early game, scaling can be punished. But like FPX, they scale well, but they don't scale as well as RA so far. So, you know, we could end up with passive lanes, and then as a result, RA will just curve ahead as the game goes on. So I think with the fact that mid and jungle haven't been picked, I want to see a bit more proactivity from both sides to try and get some control of the game, and then you can play towards the sides. Already, RA has started banning away junglers. Viego has been taken off the cards. There's still things like the Lee Sin available for Lien. Xin Zhao is still an option. Trundle as well has been something we've seen a lot of picks recently on. Whereas FPX are looking to target more mid laners away from Strive.
Take away those mid laners, take away those big carries that can, you know, as you say, Strive, big component of where Adam has found their success. And for FPX, a lot to be kind of gained from this. It's going to be very difficult. Not a lot of engage on either side, I'm noticing right now. Of course, we've moved into that enchanter meta, so we are looking towards the junglers to be that engaged. When you're looking at the likes of the Viego, the Wukong, the Trundle all banned away, we start to, you know, lean down and they're going to say, what is actually left to be your primary engage for your composition?
It's the Twitch. That's the engage. He goes invisible, pops out, just one-shots enemy team. That's the goal, right? Not exactly the most reliable, but you can definitely find opportunities with that. Now, we do see the Lee Sin banned away by FPX and the Trundle by Rare Adam. Does make me think maybe Xin Zhao is something that's left up. Strong early skirmisher, and Lian's going to lock that in. So now on FPX to try and answer. Ideally, you want a jungler who can kind of hold their own up against what Lian offers, and a mid who can be proactive. So toying with the idea of the Galio right now.
Going with the idea of the Galio would work very well into kind of a protect the carries composition. You have the Lulu, of course the Galio gives you an awful lot of peel and protection with that global ultimate. They do lock it in, and again, you're kind of able to then go ahead and say, right, Zeri, go in, LWX, move yourself in on top of these carries. Even if you do get caught out a little bit, we have protection with the Lulu. We have got follow-up with the Jarvan and the Galio now.
Yeah, I like the Jarvan. You can very easily just Cataclysm, Twitch, or Kayle when they don't have flash. Zeri can even W through the terrain, so you can get that crit, which is really powerful. And then obviously Galio and Lulu can just press R on top. Now, to counteract, RA looking at some roaming mid options. All three, they hover there, very global, very active on the map. In the end, going to go with Sylas, who serves the same purpose as you can steal away that ultimate from the Galio, and pretty strong in those skirmishes. So I think ultimately RA has a bit of an edge in terms of their scaling, right? Kayle is going to outscale Gwen, Twitch Yuumi is going to outscale Zeri Lulu, but really it comes down to this mid jungle and who can find success. It doesn't matter about scaling if your Zeri ends up 3,000 gold ahead of Twitch, right? It doesn't give him the window, the room to get to that point of the game.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think it's going to be interesting to see someone that we mentioned very briefly, we haven't really touched on at all in terms of our talks. Lien, the kind of the heart of this team, or a lot of people saw as the heart of this team, specifically in Spring Split. This guy was very much kind of, you know, live and die by how he performs. So this is a big moment for him to kind of say, look, I'm on the Xin Zhao. I've got those early skirmishing power. I need to be active. And of course, on the other side of that as well, we look at FPX and say, right, you're on a Jarvan. If you're not ganking early on the Jarvan, you're doing something wrong. That's just how simple it is really for this guy. So very, very curious to see how that mid jungle ends up kind of fanning out. And honestly, just where these opportunities can, you know, present themselves for both these teams.
Yeah, essentially the way I see it is Galio's going to have Predator so he can get to the place he needs to be faster. And Jarvan is a really powerful ganker. So those two really want to be in a situation where they have the numbers advantage. They have the CC set up, they find a fight, great. On the other side, the Xin Zhao and the Sylas are really strong in those extended skirmishes. They both are good when they get extra rotations of the cooldowns. Sylas has all that healing, is hard to focus down first. Even Xin Zhao, one of the reasons he came back in the meta was his healing on his passive got buffed a bit. So RA, their mid jungle just wants to match. You want to track down your opponent's mid jungle, make sure whenever they're making a play, you're there to answer and you just negate their pressure. So emphasis really on FPX to get the ball rolling here. I think if they don't, it's going to be difficult. And also, a big thing to look out throughout this game is summoners. Summoner cooldowns, flashes in particular. You're into a Jarvan, you're into a Galio as well. If your flash is up, it's going to be so much harder for FPX to make something happen.
That was a very loud Twitch voice line right there. It just kind of like pierced into my ear. It was like, oh, hello. And I was like, oh, God. I thought I was in the game for a second. But yes, it is the Predator Galio. We will be seeing exactly how they end up kind of working this one out, but like keeping an eye on those summoners, keeping an eye exactly as you said, once you hit those level 6s, how you can escape this engage from the side of FPX. And for RA, they do have engage, but it's very much kind of all in or no in. You have to be committed to the engage with the Xin Zhao and the Sylas when they actually land on, you know, their kind of CC onto someone. Otherwise, it's not really going to do you a lot of good. So looking towards the early to mid game, we can see iBoy using a submarine with Yuyanja, trying to see if he can make something work, but they catch them out. And there's a ward to see that they're going to be a little bit late to lane.
Yeah, so this is important because it gives LWX and Hung control of the wave to do with as they please. Some people would drag the wave in and then be able to make it push into you to kind of zone them off. Here instead, not really favoring their level 1. They opt just to get the push early, so they will hit level 2 first. And that play that I swear everyone who's played solo queue into Twitch knows it's such a common play where the Twitch just goes mid level 1 to get a cheese kill. And clearly Care was ready and understood the potential possibility for coming in.
Understood the assignments. And we can even see as well FPX LWX going for a little bit of a slower start, saying, look, I don't think there's much kill pressure here pre-6. I'm going to get 100 CS pretty as easy as that. I don't really think there's going to be much else to really do there. As we do see Leanne, congratulations to him, but his 200th game in the LPL. I'm assuming that's what that says, because it says with a little pound sign. But yeah, congratulations.
Well, I don't think it's his 200th camp in the LPL. Which
no,
would be
200 camp would be weird and also a weird. You know what? I wouldn't put it past the LPL to track that kind of stuff. They have some stats that are so incredibly weird. Like I don't get it, but at the same time, I'm like, why do we have this? I'm glad we have this.
Yeah, especially for Leon's tenure, the fact that he's a Nidalee player as well. I mean, I feel like there's some games where not quite 200, but a good chunk of camps contributed towards
At least 100, like definitely in the older metas with the Nidalee jungles coming in. But yes, as I was trying to say before that little tidbit came up, very much a slow start from FPX, or you know, and in terms of what they're assuming is going to be happening bot side.
Yeah, and LWX and Hung should be able to out pressure iBoy and Yanja in this lane. It's hard to find all in opportunities, essentially, especially since like RA's bot line has 3 combat summoners with exhaust, ignite, and heal. You can negate the exhaust with the cleanse, but obviously does mean that that you can get CC'd out of that, although to be honest, not too many stuns on the side of RA. Now Care will dodge away from the stun there, and you can see Care just able to find a lot of pressure so far in this lane. Clady's going to help him shove in, and with that they can just move over and get first access to the skull.
Yeah, they got first access to the scuttle. It's going to be a double scuttle. Gone are the days where that was basically a death sentence to the enemy jungler. You know, talk to Blabber, he'll let you know over in the LCS. But yeah, and again, just kind of good proactivity coming out here from Clade, kind of recognizing again that he needs to be moving around the map, either covering where Leanna's going or right now just shadowing Cube and saying, look, if you tip too far forward, I will jump on you.
Yeah, but Leanna has spotted this out. He will be seeing the ward. But essentially, it just means that Clade really won't be wanting to look for a gank here. especially with the size of the wave, the fact that Shallow is low. And Shallow should just be able to pick up these minions. But again, anytime there's inactivity, you have to feel it favors RA. Now, Care fishing for a window to roam here.
Fishing for one. There is a lot of health here on iBoy, but no mana here on Yuyanja. They're just kind of taking a really horrible trade at the moment. The flash in, the taunt's going to land on both of them. This is just an absolute disaster. First blood goes over to Hong, the second to LWX. That is just really, really bad disrespect from the RA bot lane.
That was super egregious. Yuyanja ends up outside, not attached to iBoy, so it's a really easy opportunity for Care to come in, land the CC. Yuyanja can't go back inside the Twitch, can't even follow after iBoy flashes, otherwise he may have been able to get away. And just disrespectful of the roam time. He was even seen! Oh, this is so egregious. This is so egregious. And they walk up! They're trading! And Yuyanja steps out. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a bit unforgivable sometimes, and even the flash afterwards and everything, it just feels like he should be flashing way earlier than that.
Remember when I was talking about those combat summoners? I don't have any of those anymore.
The four you were talking about?
Yeah, well, they have all just been removed. But yeah, fantastic run from Care. I really feel like he shouldn't have got away with it. But yeah, RA. Let's move on. I don't feel like there's more I can add to that conversation.
Well, now that we know there's no combat summoners bot lane, I was just about to say, we are probably going to see an awful lot more priority coming in here for the bot lane of FPX. So you've got to be super careful here, which means Leyen knows he has to shadow this bot lane of the Twitch and the Yuumi, because if Clid, who he is, ends up arriving very, very soon, Leyen needs to be in position to be able to counter it. So it's going to be a 3v3. They go invisible, back themselves away. They're trying to bait them in, but Leyen still hasn't been seen.
Yeah, I mean, Clid doesn't overextend just in case. And obviously with iBoy going invisible, it's hard to pin him down. You don't want to waste your combos, Jarvan, and not hit anyone. But ultimately, Leyen, as much as he's waiting here, you don't want to get involved in this fight, because FPX can easily just flash out, and then you get locked into the play. And if Clid ends up turning up and turning it around, you'd be in a lot of pain. You see how Clid is now doing the dragon, and LWX and Hung are playing towards him. Leyen knows he can't really do anything. He's just going to reset.
He has to as well. I mean, not only will, if Clid decides to come down, Care has 6. Care has got access to the hero's entrance, so it's going to be an awful lot harder for you to try and make that play work just because of the extra stats you are given. And now iBoy, he's slowed up, but he's still got a Yuumi on his back, so the Tom and Jerry combination is still going to be running rampant in his bot lane. Hung sadly takes a little bit of an unfortunate trade back.
Yeah, it's hard to trade sometimes into the Twitch Yuumi if you don't have like a super aggressive all-in lane, just because even if you do damage to them, they will out-sustain you in the long run. Whereas obviously with the Lulu, you don't have any sustain. It's really about preventing damage with the shield, with the polymorph. And as a result, iBoy and Yuyanja doing okay there, but still, down in gold. You already have LWX with the Cole, so he's going to be ramping a little bit quicker. But the fact he got that kill and that assist means they're in a position to be relevant a little bit sooner.
All right, we're going to have a little bit of a lull in the game. The first dragon was taken there by FPX, so next one will be a mountain, should they be able to take it in 4 minutes' time. But where do we see this game transitioning? Level 6s are starting to come across the board. People are starting to get those big power spikes. Where do you want to see both these teams prioritize to either get them further ahead in the game or get them back into it?
Well, personally, I see iBoy's flash is still down. Clitter's Cataclysm, especially if you bring Care as well. It's like the easiest play possible. Like there's very little counterplay. If iBoy is even moderately overextended, it's just a freebie. So I would like to see them capitalize on that, but it looks like the play is going towards the Herald, which I guess will snowball the game effectively. My question is going to be, can you get the Herald, reset, and go bot before the flash is up? They should have the exact timer. If they can make that play happen, that's like a free path to just first tower being taken and a massive influx of gold for FPX.
Well, they're going to prioritize the Rift Herald for the moment, but like you said, the resets could be able to come in here. The reset or the Baron Empowered Recall, or the Rift Herald Empowered Recall, should I say, should be available. But do RA try to make something work before then? However, Care is in the area, and it looks like they're going to try and maybe make it work. The Predator does come in, and they know he's coming out. There's the final chapter going down. Try and lock up Zeri onto the tower. iBoy has no flash. He has nowhere to go. The Leyen's going to try and turn this one around, but with the Crescent Guard, just can't really make the damage stick. And this is, yeah, this is rough.
Yeah, really painful. iBoy no cleanse, no flash. Obviously didn't run cleanse, but just means once the Galio's on you, you're in a really bad spot. And Clid, not only does he get the Herald, he'll take this time with Strive missing, just put some damage on that mid lane tower. And it's now at a point where if Strive moves again, or if they just end up being able to kill him, you could easily just Herald mid and take the whole tier 1. I mean, we normally talk about tier 1s and side lanes being easy to set up for, but if you can take the entire tower mid, then by all means, you would love to do so.
Yeah, well, the replay is not going to show us much other than a very fast statue running at you.
I just don't understand because they're not going to dive here. It's distinctly obvious this is not an easy dive to do. The fact that you have the polymorph and the Lulu makes it so difficult to make that play happen. And yet, Leanne's posturing as if he's going to go for a dive, and it just allows Care to walk around. iBoy and Yuyanji again just playing too aggressive. And yeah, I mean, the one saving grace that Yuyanji didn't go down, obviously Leanne was able to block and get him away safely because he did get CC'd, he did get locked out. But yeah, only 1 kill for now, but FPX absolutely winning on the map so far.
I mean, Strive even TP'd. That's the big thing there. I didn't even realize. I thought he walked down, but he was an actual TP that ended up being there. Xiaolahu makes a very poor trade into Cube. He's almost got himself to level 11, so Cube is having himself a decent time in this top side, going fairly even. But yeah, this is rough for RA, and this is kind of why we were saying that the 0-5 scoreline for FPX doesn't really tell the whole story for this team. They are very good when they get a lead. They understand their win conditions very, very well. And we even see now Clid with that Frostfire Gauntlet is going to try and go down towards this bot side. Maybe even try and burn Summoners again. You've no Ignite, no Exhaust on the Yuumi. This becomes very hard to deal with if you overextend.
Yeah, and I kind of understand the thought process for Frostfire Gauntlet in the sense that, you know, it did get buffed. Obviously, Jarvan being tanky, very valuable. But I feel like the fact is your comp is very AP heavy. You have an AP top laner, AP mid. LWX does a lot of AP damage with the W. Hong obviously buffs him and makes him do AP damage. So the fact that Jarvan isn't going AD, maybe not the best damage profile.
iBoy already down to about 1/3 of his HP. You can see just any time the wave in mid is left uncontested, Care is out of there. He's already moving down towards bot side. And as much as we're gonna, put the timer on the Kale, we talked about it in pick and ban. It doesn't matter how much scaling you have because you have to get to that point. The scaling is only relevant if you're not getting absolutely dumpstered before 35-40 minutes. So right now, this bot lane is hemorrhaging cash towards FPX, and they honestly might just go for a full dive because they've got the Herald. They even had to use the ultimate there as the stolen Galio ultimate was used to try and just get back into position. They're going to try and jump into Yuyanji. This is a long, extended fight underneath the tower, which finally gets taken down. They will get the Cataclysm. They are slaughtering them right now. There's nothing you can do. They lose 1, they gain 4. FPX destroying RA.
It's just dismantling them. Honestly, the fact Clid survived so long, got the extra shield. Remember, Jarvan's W shields for more. The more enemies are around and the more he hits with it. So Clid just ended up surviving such an insane amount of time there. Able to get the play. Obviously, the Herald really nice because they knew. The reason they're so confident go for that play is they know that the tower is going to die. So they start off. Yes, the initial CC doesn't actually connect. But it means they don't have aggro immediately. Hong takes aggro, great call, he tanks 2 tower hits and he's out. And then here, it looks like they're gonna be able to take Clid down when the tower hits. But watch the fact he ends up getting the shield in, gives him some extra time, gets the combo. And then honestly, I'm gonna say maybe didn't need to Cataclysm immediately because he brought himself out of his flag and drag. He could have ended up further away, but regardless, he keeps them trapped in. They all go down. 7-1 right now for FPX, and a fantastic start to the series.
5,500 gold, 2 dragons. The bot lane is, you can't go near it. You will be chased down if you go anywhere near the, even the tier 1 of FPX in this bot side because you have absolutely no support. So you can see already, it's just get the wave pushed as far as you can, which is probably the remnants of your first tower, and then back up. You cannot go any further than that. So RA really, really struggling right now. And honestly, it kind of comes down to, we talked about a little bit in the the mid lane as such, but like 3-0-4 for this Galio. Care has been the crux of absolutely everything. Leanne, though, gonna use Yuyanji as a little bit of a combo here. They get the taunt down as Leanne flashes in, does get the kill down. Now Care in a 1v4, never mind, it's a 2v4. With the Lulu, can he make anything else work? There is no wild growth, never mind, it just came back off of cooldown. Now Clid is here. The Cataclysm is available if they want to try and continue this chase. They will get the flash out of Cube as the taunt does not land. Now Stripe goes back in with a 2-man Everfrost and forces Care into stasis. They do get the Kale ultimate, but the Galio has gone down. Now iBoy trying to chase this one down as FPX have gotten a little bit too sure of themselves. Never mind, they've got a Cataclysm and they've got a Zeri just zapping everybody and nothing you can do! LWX with the quadra kill!
Comes up absolutely huge. And we were talking about the extended fighting from RA. You can see the confidence to go for that one, using the healing, the KO ult, the Yuumi. But all they did was gave the window for LWX to pop off. 3-0-5 going into that fight. Actually, I think it was 3-0-4. Now 7-0-5 on the Zeri.
Oh God.
There's a reason this champ was basically perma-banned, and LWX showing he can absolutely pilot it to perfection.
LWX showing that world championship winning caliber right there. But again, this is RA going for a fight, and it looks good for them initially.
Yeah, it's such a back and forth, and you can see RA are confident because, like, Xin Zhao with Yuumi is a very potent combo. They really chunk out Care. Lian ends up using the ultimate to survive, and there's a lot of back and forth. But this whole time, LWX is just free hitting, stacking, jumps over the wall to survive, and then continues to do all this damage, and there's just not enough in return.
Oh, boy.
I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like they need to take us out of the replay for that. I've seen that too many times this game.
It's good for to be a point of record. And honestly, I just want to make a very quick notice here. I love the fact that Hong has gone towards this Chemtech Putrefier right now, because it means that you just have so little healing now onto the Kale and of course the Yuumi, and even the Sylas, to be perfectly honest. Yes, it got nerfed, but having it this early on when you're this far behind just feels crippling on the side of RA.
I mean, ultimately, everyone in RA is going to have healing in their kit, whether it's because of how the kit given it in the case of Sylas, Xin Zhao, and Yuumi, or in the case, I mean, Cube as well has it in his kit, but iBoy and Cube will also likely build some healing in their items, so has a ton of value. Obviously, Grievous Wounds is reduced a bit, but still very potent in terms of when a whole team has it, and LWX obviously fantastic at applying it to multiple people. And now LWX can just push down a tower by himself, because really, who is there to stop him?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd be able to answer that as the color caster, but now iBoy, buddy. Yeah, he flashes, but now you don't have that.
This is the third time.
Yeah, third time's the charm. He eventually gets out. But they get the final chapter trying to make something happen off the back of that. You can see, all right, they're already at panic stations. This is a little bit desperate from them right now because, like we said, you can have all the scaling in the world. It doesn't matter because you're already 7,000 gold in the hole.
Yeah, 7,000. And the thing is, that's a big problem as well, is they didn't get a dragon early. If they were able to get even a single dragon early, it'd add 5 minutes to time. But now you got to think about this. Is 18.5 minutes. We'll see FPX pick up the third dragon. I don't think there's any way RA can contest. And then they are one away from the Infernal Soul. And considering they have the Zeri, we've seen how disturbing her W is in terms of the poke damage. Add an Infernal Soul onto that, and it's just so hard to compete against. So RA, they don't have much time. They don't have time to scale. They probably will have to give up the soul or try a last-ditch fight to go for it. I don't think they contest this third dragon, though. They should just keep away. And I swear, if I see iBoy die again, walking up too far, I'm going to lose my mind.
I mean, I remember you said specifically in the Champ Select that, you know, the Twitch scaling doesn't matter if the Zeri is 3,000 gold ahead. I'm very curious to know if the Zeri is 3,000 gold ahead right now.
More,
so,
at this point,
that's what I'm
honestly.
thinking. I'm like, did you read the script? Because we're not allowed to read the script before the game. You know, we got to keep those genuine reactions before the script is released. But yeah, look at the darkness.
Honestly, Asheen,
darkness.
I've been working overtime. I wrote the script for this game.
You wrote the script, of course. That's what it has been. That's where you've been all weekend.
I played Clash the other day, and we faced a Yuumi Zeri. Seen Engage come in. Oh,
what Engage? It was just a slaughter.
Yeah.
This is them using the Crescent Guard. You can see Leanne trying to walk away. They look for something. iBoy doesn't have flash. Cataclysm comes down. It's exactly as you say it to be.
Yeah, so I played some Clash of the Day. We played Kai'Sa Nor into Twitch Yuumi, and we absolutely destroyed them in lane. And then we made one bad fight, and we just got outscaled. So seeing them get crushed on the ground like this does make me happy. It does bring me joy, I won't lie.
Oh, we might see a little bit of joy for Strife, but he ends up going for it now. Cube in a little bit of trouble. He's CC'd for absolute days. That is a 8-0-6 Zeri.
I don't even know what to say at this point. It's yeah. RA,
so let's talk about the next game.
About
what do you
game
want to
two.
see
Yeah.
different? Yeah, what do you want to see RA do differently should this game reach the conclusion we expect it to reach?
You know, I'll go further than that. Right, Yashin? I will go fear the next game. I will say for the entire split, I don't want to see iBoy play Twitch again. Not another game. I am so disappointed. Give him something with a dash, I think. Maybe stick him on Ezreal, because if you're going to play like that so far up in the lane when enemy Galio is walking over wards towards you, you should probably be playing something like Ezreal.
I mean, look at the damage coming out from Care right now. He's got himself 2.5 items. They try to turn back onto Hong. They use the Crescent Guard. The TPs are going to be committed as well. But here's a very large Zeri. Well, we weren't going for you at the end. We're going back for iBoy, who still doesn't have his flash. Oh my god, FPX are just tearing them apart, and it's just unforgiving. It's brutal.
Look at the item diff between the carries, by the way. LPX this is the big spike for Zeri that everyone goes to, because with the IE, your W really hits, and obviously your Q is shredding. iBoy doesn't even have a second item. He doesn't have boots. He doesn't have tier 2 boots. He got the free ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't even buy boots. He got those for free. They will get a turn on the bot side as they do have Cube pushing, but that is an off-spawn 20-minute Baron. Now you have to try and deal with the item difference alongside with the minion difference. The minions have been to the gym. They're buffed up, and they're intimidating to go against.
Oh, I feel bad for Cube. It's just like, you're chilling, playing top lane matchup. Like, hey, dude, we both skill. Let's just vibe. And then you look at the rest of the map, and it's like, oh, no. I guess you win. Every top laner in solo queues experienced this one.
Yeah, it's like you've done your job, and then all of a sudden you look down and you're like, ah, god damn it. Nothing to be done. But yeah, this is FPX just owning the map, running the map, unless we see an absolutely massively egregious mistake. We're not really going to see them. I don't even think you can stop this tower from going down as RA. I don't think genuinely there's anything you can do about this. They're going to try.
Though.
They're going to go for it, see if they can make something work. They've already used the Crescent Guard. As we can see, Strife going in. He goes immediately into Stasis. The ultimate from LWX doesn't really hit anybody, but look at the damage! Look at the damage from this goddamn Zeri. It's ridiculous. It's just so stupid how much damage you get when you're this far ahead, and there's nothing you can do. That is another quadra kill coming in. Not quite a pentakill. But LWX, actually, never mind, it was a pentakill. I completely missed that one right there. As LWX deservedly comes out with 15 and 6.
The veteran of this roster, LWX, doing what he can on this Zeri and making a statement against RA to never leave Zeri open again. At least in this series. Man. This team is 0-5 in series score, by the way.
Yeah.
And they just stomped RA into oblivion.